Flanagan. What's up, buddy? Let me lock in myself.
How's it going, CJ? Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah.
The laddie daddy. Big fan of the show, dude. An honor to be here. Giving the
Oh.
people what they need, a Carolina Panthers deep dive, dude. That's what the C-Generous want.
It is what they want. It's MC South because this is where the value is. And I'm also honored to have you here. I'm a big fan. Became an even bigger fan when you told me what a fan you were of me. So I said,
oh, yeah.
Then I'm like,
a fellow mispronouncer of words. That's most of our comedy. It's gotten us nowhere.
Exactly. I always support mumblers and mispronouncers.
Absolutely.
I'm like, that's who can do. But yeah, I brought up the videos. Of course, Ryan Flanagan, you're a hilarious comedian and Carolina native and insider. But you have had videos stolen. I brought that up, and I brought that up to my C-Generates because it's up to us to police ourselves. Not to bring that up top, but I was going to make a video of it. I did cut a short video, but I know when you talk, you have to bring your receipts. So I didn't know it was a lot of work. It was this fucking Gun Ranch asshole, Demolition Ranch.
Yeah, bizarre. The host of Demolition Ranch, just word for word, copied a sketch of mine from Instagram, which is fine. I don't think he was doing that to rip me off. I like to think he was doing it as like an homage, but then he didn't tag me or anything in it. So maybe he was just straight up ripping me off.
Yeah, it was no homage. He just stole it.
You're probably right.
And the reason why I came in the news is the guy who shot Trump was wearing one of his shirts. This Demolition Ranch.
Yeah.
And
that guy had to do some sort of apology video.
Right, which is hilarious. And I watched that video. It was like the first time I got introduced him. I was like, well, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
You would think a guy whose video content is of a gun ranch would be more creative. Apparently not. That's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Great actor, though. Got to give him that.
That's what I said. So if you put the video side to side, which you did on your page, and hold on, I got to switch my banner. I have a Ryan Flanagan banner. There we go. To follow all the handles, you put them side by side. Yes, he did take your idea of the entire premise and joke word for word, but it was his idea to make the acting and the execution much, much worse.
Yeah.
He's like, what if I do that, but in a way worse way?
It was really staggering, his inability to sound like a real person when he's acting.
Right.
So alien and robotic.
Yeah, he did it twice because you do the great POVs, you play both characters, the different cuts, and his both acting choices was bad actor and one was trying to be worse. It was incredible.
It was tough to watch.
All right, let's get into your Carolina Panthers now. I got some slides, some canvas slides. This isn't just official Carolina football. Now, you're from out there from North Carolina, right?
I'm not. Sadly enough, I'm not even from there. That's the worst part of this. I'm from New England.
I probably should have said this beforehand, but you are a Panther fan. I know you're my Panther insider.
Yeah,
I've seen you post about it.
Yeah, I'm your Panthers insider, dude. Happy to be the Panthers insider.
Right. All right, I have to change some of my questioning, but well, when it comes to Panthers, we take what we can get because, as you said, they were not good. We'll hop right into last year's disaster. They were 2-15 last year, the worst team in football.
Tepper with the cup.
Yeah,
it was.
It starts with
unmitigated siege, unmitigated disaster.
Yeah, must have been rough that season. I mean, they weren't just bad. I mean, they were really bad. Like I don't think they ever had to lead. I think for like 30 seconds combined, even when those two wins. Frank Reich, of course, got fired. Bryce Young was horrible. It started from the top, though. I like how everyone hates that owner, David Tepper. Here they're just throwing a drink on a fan that he came into the restaurant when someone said, because he single-handedly said they wanted to pick Bryce Young over C.J. Stroud when all of the football guys said C.J. Stroud, and Tepper's like, I got a feeling about this guy, But I kind of like my owners being villains that way of like just the asshole billionaire, who like throws drinks from his ivory tower.
Yeah, there's something fun about it. But it's fun. It's fun when you like the villain. Like Cam Newton, he was like a villain, around the league. But it's fun when it's your guy. It's less fun when it's the owner who's just really single-handedly been holding your team back for 6-7 years now. And you don't want to root for a team that's like I don't want this guy to be happy,
Right, and especially when it's in spite. But I love when they meddle in there, like, no, I think I got a feeling about this. I made all my money in real estate, sure, but also I know how to evaluate a quarterback.
Yeah, and of course, looking back, CJ I would have loved for CJ to have been the pick, but honestly, at the time, it was not a crazy pick to pick Bryce. I
No,
wanted Bryce. I also
yeah.
fell for that stupid mental aptitude test that was like, well, CJ's probably doesn't seem like he has it mentally, which now they're just that
Right.
test is just absolutely gone now.
Yeah.
That definitely means nothing.
The Wonderlic test. You don't know
Yeah, whatever it is. And
right.
as a shorter guy myself, I root for, even like as Tom Brady was getting older, I started rooting for him, even though I always hated him growing up. But it's like, yeah, I'm rooting for the old guys, and I root for smaller guys.
That's funny. He's relatable, but also when it comes to football players, I don't want him to be relatable.
It's cool when it works out. Then when it doesn't work out, like last year, it is tough to watch a guy that size just get thrown around the yard.
So funny. But you got a new coach this year, so there's more exciting. You got Dave Canales. He came over from Tampa Bay, the offensive coordinator, who is the quarterback whisperer. That's that graphic in the lower right. Apparently, he whispered to Geno Smith and Baker Mayfield. He whispered that if you ever get caught cheating, just say you're addicted to porn, and then she might make you write a book about it. It'll be embarrassing, but you can still get through it.
Yeah, man. He's he's an interesting guy. I read his book that he co-wrote with his wife.
Yeah, that's right.
Like the first words in that book are, the first time I cheated on, it was my first. So it's like, this is just a book about how he cheated on his wife. She hasn't let him watch porn in 10 years. And
I mean, you could just feel like you could just envision like the gun to his head as he's having to write it.
As he's at the keyboard. But he's a young guy, injecting some youth and some energy into this thing. He, by all accounts, seems like a very sweet, nice guy, which I'm not sure I love that as much. I kind of do like a Mike Tomlin, I'm fucking working here type.
Yes.
But he seems like a cool guy to hang out with. I don't know how that translates to wins and losses, but yeah, he's allegedly kind of the whisperer. Turned Geno around, turned Baker around.
Well, that's what's funny too about that. Like, he's turned Geno Smith around, Baker Mayfield around. We're already admitting that our number one pick, Bryce, is in that field.
Needs to be turned around.
Well, let's see if we can get the fixer to come in and fix this terrible mistake we made.
Yeah, I mean, it did look bad. I mean, you forget
nothing looked good.
It was brutal, and Bryce looked pretty bad. But I don't. There were no plays to be made. Like, truly, I mean, you probably heard it 1,000 times, but the line was so bad. The receivers were really not getting open. We had one receiver who could get open at all, and it was Adam Thielen, and he had 105 catches. If you get open, Bryce can find you, I think.
They definitely did have a connection, and they are young. We'll move on. Bryce Young, 150 to 1 to win MVP would be quite the feat, but who knows who he could bounce back. I had to search deep for those numbers there. I found a young Panther logo there too. But they have Chuba Hubbard, of course, at running back, but they drafted as Jonathan Brooks out of Texas. That's him running away from Chuba Hubbard. 75 to 1 rookie of the year. But then my favorite guys is Xavier Legette, the guy, speaking of receivers. He is as country gets. He is hilarious. 60 to 1. He looks like DK Metcalf. Have you heard him speak yet there, Ryan?
Oh yeah. He's South Carolina, from Mullins, South Carolina. And that's
Mullins.
That's if we're going to be a crappy team again, at least it's good to have players that you just really like and can root for.
Absolutely.
That guy is just he's the immediate darling. Everyone loves him. Anytime they put a mic in front of his face, I'm going to listen. He's awesome. Yeah. And I think he will be decent. He's pretty banged up right now. We have a lot of injuries coming out of preseason here, which is not a great sign. We're missing half our secondary, and Legette might not play for a bit. Right. Brooks is out for that whole beginning of the year, so it might be a slow start.
Yeah, you got to read an injury report of what you guys did to yourselves. Well, we had another rough game with ourselves, and we're all knocked up. Here's Legette answering a press conference. Now I know you're from the New England area, but you speak Carolina. You speak a little South. You've been down there once. I've seen pictures with you, Cam Newton, for crying out. Here's Xavier. He's just one time they did an AI thing, try to translate his press conferences, and it just short circuited and gave up. But here he is. He's just amazing. Let me see if I can get him to play here. Hold on. Wait. That was supposed to play. That did not play. I probably can't do it now because you're on. Oh, no, never mind. Anyway, it's country. We all know how country it is. Right. I'm in the box here by myself.
Don't pick him up about 9:30 in the morning. I told him I'm gonna be ready.
That's what it's like, and it's funny because the press asked him questions, and they ask him like just to hear him fucking speak. Like, hey, tell us about your first job, Xavier. Like, what was it, Toys R Us or something?
When do they ever ask rookies that job? It's like, please talk about anything.
Yeah, exactly.
And even his answer was literally that he's like, I never had a job. I worked. It is way more hard to understand than this. But he goes, I had a cousin worked at KFC. I was in there for about a week, and I moved on.
It's amazing because he's this huge athlete. You're like, I can't believe he sounds like that, but that's how the fucking South talks. Yeah, that's great. Oh, what did I do?
He's perfect for the Carolina Panthers. It's the locals are gonna love him. Like that's our sweet boy, our sweet Mullen, South Carolina boy.
Absolutely. So Anthony, they brought in Deontay Johnson for some reason as well.
For some reason, yeah. I don't know how big of a signing that would be for most teams, but I think for us that's great.
Yeah,
because he is a great route runner and he can get open. I think he'll have a good year. That's because poor Bryce, man. They would show the full 22 and no one was open ever. It was staggering to watch. I think our weapons are better this year. I think we made some nice additions on the line, beefed up our guard positions, and
they did. They brought in Damian Lewis from the TV show Billions, and they brought in Robert Hunt, I believe his name was. And,
spending $100 million on some guards, keeping Bryce upright.
Yeah, now that's money I can get behind. Bringing in Javion Clowney, I guess, because he's from Carolina. I don't know, whatever. Good for them.
That's cool. Bringing some South Carolina boys, but. Yeah.
So I took Xavier to get a rookie of the year just because I like him. And
me too.
Cisco Simmons, but let's get to this.
something to root for.
Let's get right into this schedule here. Those are two of my favorite Panthers. I put them on the left there: Kerry Collins and Wesley Walls.
Wow, that's for the best. That is what Kerry Collins looked like the whole time he played.
Yeah, Kerry Collins had one of the best weeks ever. He had a DUI. He had this practice where he got accused of saying the N-word. Then he came out of the jail. He came out of the jail cell smoking a cigar from his DUI. It was like a 7-day PR disaster.
Yeah,
he was just like leaning into all of it.
Yeah, man. I was 7, 8 years old. That was my first Panthers jersey. Was a Kerry Collins jersey. And that's just a little kid. It's like, this is my hero. That's what he's doing.
Like I said, so they won 2 games last year, and now they have the over/under set at 4.5, which would be more than double that, obviously. But I do think they have the easiest. I think they're the 29th best schedule. Look at the numbers. No need to even go over last year's numbers. It's a new regime, new whisperer. 5.5 to 1 just to make the playoffs. 11 to 1 to win a division. They have a pretty wide open division, even though they are definitely the worst team in there.
For sure.
Yeah, 121 to win the NFC, and if you want to burn some money, go ahead and put 250 to 1 to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
How amazing would that be? How shocked would you be in a scale of 1 to 250, if you will?
Yeah, I have made almost all of these bets. I did a little sprinkle. Of course, I did a little $10 sprinkle at 250 to 1.
You have to.
Why not?
If you're a fan, why not?
Why not? Went to $2,500, and yeah, we're probably the worst team in the division, but the division is, like you said, wide open. I do think the Falcons, they have a lot of talent, and they could. I love to hate the Falcons, but they might actually be pretty good.
Yeah, they were already good. They just needed a quarterback. I mean, they got.
Once they got Kirk Cousins, I was like, okay, they're for real. And then just a couple of days ago, they pick up Matt Judon and Justin Simmons. Like, oh, damn it, they're really going for it. And then if Cousins gets hurt, maybe Penix makes some noise. But the Bucks, I don't know. They're fine. Baker got paid. Maybe he kind of slows down a bit. Mike Evans is getting older.
I know. So they don't really excite you. And then the Saints, you're just like,
why? Are just the Saints. Yeah.
You're like, why are you even doing this? Like, you're like they don't even seem like a real team. Like David Carr and Dennis Allen, really? That's a real thing? Like, okay, if you're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, running it back. So
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
We got a comment from the C Generous. They said their favorite Panther was Robbie Anderson because he thought Sir Purr was a bear, your mascot.
that was an all-time clip. That literally, when we had Robbie on the Panthers, he was my favorite player. And that moment made me love him so much. Him on the side go, there's a Sir Purr Panthers mascot just dancing or something, and he goes, "What's that bear doing?" And talking to DJ Moore, and DJ Moore goes, "The Panther." And he goes, "What is it?" And he goes, "It's the Panther." And he goes, "His name's Sir Purr." And he goes, "What you call that?" Sir Purr. And he goes, Sir Purr. And it's poor DJ Moore trying to explain to this doofus. Yeah, like
exactly.
Purr, like a cat purrs.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Sir Purr.
Robbie's the man.
He was anointed by the queen. It's Sir Purr. It is
it's a royal cat.
Speaking of weird Carolina Panthers, you might have talked about you with Cam Newton before, who was probably your most famous Carolina Panther, obviously. Mm-hmm. What has happened to Cam Newton? He's hilarious. I love him, but what he is out there now.
He is really, man. He's really starting to lose it, dude. It's sad to watch. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I just saw a clip of him the other day. I feel like he at least admits he's not going to play again. He's like, I'm not retired. Do I expect to be asked to play again? No.
Yeah,
Am I gonna say I'm retired? No. But yeah, he's posted a lot of bizarre clips going after like Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Last year, I'm like, who doesn't like Brock Purdy? Unless maybe you're an Eagles fan or something. Like you and Sean.
And the only game film I see him is him getting in fights with like 13-year-olds at his camp and shit.
Camp like getting jumped by 3 people at once. He does get into it with some fans. There was another clip of him at a camp, and there was like a Saints fan, saying like Drew Brees is your daddy, and then Cam was barking. He goes, yeah, but. He's like talking about how much money he's got to this high school kid. Like, yeah, you have more money than this high school kid can. Why are you engaging with this kid?
I know. It's kind of funny. It is weird how disrespected he gets and how people just kind of just jump on him. Like, he's an MVP, he was amazing, and he got hurt, and now he just has these camps with these kids who just roast him.
And he gets so upset by it. Like, damn it, they got me again.
And like you said, he engages in it. It's like an open roast season. I mean, it's kind of funny.
Yeah. I do miss his. Like, at least they had a little bit of like a fire when he played, man. And that's the one thing I'll say about Bryce. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't mind that he's small.
Right.
I wish he wasn't so small, but like Kyler's small, and Drew Brees was small.
Yes.
And, like Steve Smith was small or short at least, but like Bryce just doesn't have any like attitude to him. He's such like a sweetheart, and I don't see him like getting in someone's face and jawing at him or anything. He didn't do it all last year. Maybe he'll get a little bit more of that this year, a little more confidence, but just doesn't have that dog in him, as the kids
doesn't have that dog in him. Maybe the Panthers should sign a couple even smaller people, like that he could beat up in front of everyone. Like, don't mess with Bryce Young. He can like someone.
Yeah, he won't look so short next to our line if we just get a bunch of just 5'9" guys on the line. And he can see over, no problem.
I like a completely small team. No one's ever tried it. Yeah, for a reason. But we'll go for it. All right, get into the schedule. We won't get too deep into the schedule. There's a lot of to be determined, which I like. That means not only they might flex them out, but we don't even know if we're going to play these games. We don't know if Carolina's going to be worth finishing off some of these games. But they open up versus Saints. That's a fun divisional game. You actually open up with a game you can win.
Yeah, 1-0, no problem.
1-0, yeah, and then you got about a 2 months of losses. But after that, it opens right up.
There's some tough stretches for sure. I think that.
Yeah.
Open it up against the Saints. I don't know. I think we can catch them by surprise. I do think we have a much better offense. I don't know what the hell is what we're going to do for pass rush. Like you said, we have Jadeveon Clowney, and then I don't know what the hell DJ Johnson and
Jadeveon Clowney, Clavon Chason. They brought in. Of course, they lost Brian Burns, who was their all-world player. But yeah, they play the Saints, then the Chargers, and then who knows what they're going to be up front. You got the Harbaugh. And then the Raiders. You kind of a nice, obviously,
Raiders,
last place schedule.
Who knows? Yeah, it could be. It's some winnable games up front. If we are decent, we could also be at 2-15 again. But honestly, last year, I'm not even joking. I was telling my friends, and I wasn't joking. I was saying we're going 10-7. That was my honest to God prediction. Anything I say about the Panthers and my predictions, throw it out the window. I'm a fool.
And how soon did you know that 10-7 was not going to be an option, and it was going to be a long year last year?
Yeah, I figured it'd be a slow start. First couple of starts when Bryce just looked like shit. I was like, he'll figure it out. He's so smart. He's a processor, is what they always say. He's an elite processor, dude. Here's my nickname. I thought of Bryce Young.
Processor is great. Yeah, but have you seen his? Yes, it was an interception, but did you see him process it?
He processed it. He threw it so fast. I was saying because coming out of college, that was his thing. He's small, he's super tiny, but he's an elite processor. He sees the field. So I thought since he's so small, my nickname for him is the microprocessor.
That's great.
That's got to catch on.
That's got to catch on. Because I like that because I bet he hates it and fans hate it. That's why. That's why I like that. I can get behind that merch for sure. Oh my God. Well, Ryan, I think they're going to go over 4.5 wins. I think you're right. Just the schedule looks easy. I'm a fan of Dave Canales for sure. I like that offense, and I'm behind the microprocessor. Let's do it. He's got some weapons this year.
Yeah, man. I think we could make some noise. A little bit of noise. We'll be better than last year, so at least there's that.
I put your tags down there, RyanO'Flanagan.com. If you go to that website, and all of you're an amazing follow, by the way, on Instagram and X, at Ryan O'Flan. It's going on to take about for the ones listening. Smoosh that lightsaber I put on there for one of your best videos. I mean, yeah, all your videos are amazing, including Dead Kevin. I love your Dead Kevin group with old buddy Jack Robichaud. As you guys, I just mispronounced his name too.
Yeah, Jack Robichaud. And I'm at Barucha. Yeah. Check us out on YouTube.
Yes, on YouTube, all the smoosh and smash and all those things. Gun Ranch as well as that.
Yeah,
I want to say that. Anything else you want to tell the degenerates out there?
Oh, not really. Hitting the road a little bit, doing so. Oh, any of my North Carolina people, I'll be in Reedsville this weekend and on Friday at a country club. And then doing some Florida shows in September. Come see me out in Tampa and Naples and Miami.
Amazing. What's this country club gig? Is it a private gig at a country club?
Yeah, it's just it's like a fundraiser show for this golf movie we're shooting next year where I play. I mean, you've seen me golf. I should not be in a golf movie, but
I've golfed with you. You've been in a golf movie. This is your second golf movie.
No, this is a sequel to that golf movie. Yeah, we're doing a fundraiser for it. So,
yes. What's the name of it again? Birdies?
Yeah, Birdies. So we're filming out Birdies 2 early next year. So this is a fundraiser show.
It's got a sequel. That's incredible. Congratulations on that.
Thanks, man.
How is it not called Bogies, the sequel?
I know. Right?
I mean, what are we even doing here?
Yeah. We're going to rewrite this whole thing.
I love it. All right, Ryan Flanagan, thank you very much for joining us, and go microprocessors.
Go microprocessor. Thanks, man. Talk to you soon.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it.